Good evening. Oh, that's loud. Sorry. It's great to see everybody this evening in this absolutely beautiful building here at Dix Park. And it's really special to be having the Fletcher Awards here at Dix Park because there's been so much work, so much volunteerism here to make this park happen. And there's so many exciting things happening here at Dix Park. I'm meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner with WRAL TV, and it's an honor. Thank you. It's really an honor to be with y'all this evening. Parks are a very important part of my life. I've probably been to at least 2 or 3 parks just this week. I ride mountain bikes over at Lake Crabtree Park for another week. I'm not going to start crying. But Umstead State Park and our Raleigh City Parks. Parks are so important to our way of life, and we are rich with that here in the city of Raleigh and across our area. So it's important to me to be able to give back in any way that I can. This is a very, very small way. Y'all are here lifting the parks up and making them wonderful places for people to be, not just the natural parks where people can go and just breathe and relax in this crazy world, but bringing the kids along, all of the teams, all of the sports teams that we have here with the city of Raleigh. It is so important for our youth to find purpose and ambition and to have great guidance there. So all the things that you do here are absolutely amazing. This is the 29th annual Fred Fletcher Awards ceremony. So amazing that this has been going on so long. And you have a real treat here tonight. His son, Bill Fletcher, is here. And of course, Fred passed away years ago, but Bill is here to tell the story of his dad's life and the amazing amount of work that he did for our city of Raleigh Parks. And I think you'll be amazed to hear about that. He was a Parks Board member for 54 years and served as chairman for 40 of those years. So we're talking about a huge amount of time and effort and energy that Fred Fletcher spent on our Raleigh City Parks. Today it's estimated that our parks receive more than 4 million visits each year, and our city is blessed with an average of 12,000 people who annually volunteer their services to our parks and their programs. So y'all are in good company. So tonight, of course, we're here to honor all of those volunteers. We'll hear from a lot of important folks who have joined us, and then we'll present the awards that you see in your program. It's my pleasure to recognize Raleigh Mayor Janet Cowell for opening remarks. Janet.
Well, thank you, Elizabeth, and she is truly a long-term advocate for parks, particularly Falls of the Neuse, which finally came to fruition this year. Many thanks to her for that. And I'm here to welcome you to this, and congratulate you, but welcome you to Dix Park Chapel, named for Greg Poole Jr., who really was one of the people who lobbied for years trying to get this park saved through the General Assembly, fundraising. So it is a very fitting place to have this ceremony, although I also know Fletcher Theater is beautiful. I appreciate the Parks Department honoring all of these volunteers, Stephen Bentley and his staff in the city, which has one of the best parks departments in the country. We were recently rated, this park was rated number 10 in the country, and that was even before Gibson Play Plaza was opening. And for all you kids out there, there's a huge new 20-acre playground that's going to open soon, so that's a really exciting thing. I appreciate all the volunteers that make all of these parks special, and I know so many of your faces. You're all talented people who bring so many different skill sets and perspectives to this. Terry Henderson over there, I did not even know that you had helped fund the City of Raleigh's strategic plan and also have done so much work on the historical preservation and honoring the past of Raleigh. Others who coach basketball, others who are horticulturalists and plant. I was amazed that we had over 12,500 volunteers, 60,000 hours, and of course, when I was campaigning, I got a lot of emails about litter. So I was really happy to see that I forgot how many tons were picked up, but a lot of litter. So lots of people from children to senior citizens to folks from across the city, all working in these parks. So just thank you as the mayor for all of that, and I will turn it. I'm not sure who I'm turning it over to, but and I will say, because I am go Canes.
Thank you, Mayor Cowell. All right, we will invite Chris Pereira, Chair of the Raleigh Parks Recreation and Greenway Advisory Board, to provide our official welcome. Chris?
Good evening, everyone. My name's Chris Pereira. I'm the current chair of the Parks Board. I've been chair for almost a year, and I've been on the board for 4 years, so I'm catching up to Fred Fletcher slowly but surely. We really appreciate having all of you guys here tonight. As Parks Board members, we spend a lot of time seeing the dedication of our great parks staff. We spend a lot of time in meetings. We see a lot of things. This is our favorite night of the year for a reason, because we get to see all the great volunteers. The work that we do as board members really pales in comparison to the many, many thousands of hours that these dedicated award winners spend each and every year helping the city of Raleigh and the people of Raleigh to really just enjoy these beautiful parks. But I would be remiss if I didn't recognize my fellow board members sitting up here on stage tonight: Steve Breckbeal, Jeff Havener, Kate Dixon, Gregory Etheridge, Doug Johnson, Ian Burnett, Daniel Gilligan, Colonel Bob Edgerton, Captain Carrie Hasbrook, and April Love, who put a lot of this together. Really, my job as chair is made extremely easy by the dedication of these individuals behind me. Without further ado, I'm going to turn this back over to Elizabeth so that she can start recognizing all of our great award winners.
Thank you, Chris. As I mentioned before, Bill Fletcher is here, and that is Fred Fletcher's son. I want to tell you a little bit about Bill. He's followed in his father's footsteps, being a huge advocate for a lot of different parts of the city of Raleigh. We're honored to have him here. He's an alumnus of Broughton High School and NC State University. He volunteered with the Boy Scouts and served 18 years on the Wake County Board of Education. He's also in the Rotary Club, and this was an important one that we were just talking about. He just founded NC Reads, which is a nonprofit that intends to close the reading gaps at third grade. Bill was telling me that almost half of the third graders in the country, I believe, or in Wake County, statewide, are reading below grade level. So thanks to Bill for working on that and all the other things that you do for us here in the city. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you, Elizabeth, and greetings to the mayor, council members, advisory council members, Director Bentley, and of course to the volunteers. We're here tonight to celebrate you, volunteers, and your special spirit of serving others. But who is this Fred Fletcher guy? The award carries his name. Fred was one of 4 children of A.J. and Elizabeth Fletcher, born in Fuquay, lived in Apex, and grew up on Glenwood Avenue next to what is now Fred Fletcher Park. He was well-traveled. After 5 years in 3 colleges with no degree, he married Marjorie Lemke Fletcher, an Illinois farm girl he met at the YMCA on the south side of Chicago. Within 2 years, Fred had finished both a bachelor's and a master's degree at UNC while being editor of the Daily Tar Heel. Mom kicked some motivation in. As an athlete, Fred's claims to fame include numerous playground marbles championships, head cheerleader at Wake Forest College, member of the world champion father and 3 sons tennis team. I think there were a total of 2 teams, and North Carolina Farmers Market watermelon seed spitting champ. He loved entertaining people and spreading joy. He hosted a daily radio show for 18 years, performed as the Easter Bunny in the Poole Park egg hunts, as Bozo the Clown, and as ringmaster for Ringling Brothers Circus. Fred was a promoter and a connector, always building relationships, building bridges where there were gulfs. When our community was dealing with racial integration and school desegregation, he was in the middle, building bridges, mending fences, opening doors to opportunity. And when he saw a need in the community, he acted. He observed the Hugh Morrison High School marching band marching without uniforms in a Christmas parade. The next day, he started a radio fund to raise money for uniforms. He upset the chief of police one year when he started broadcasting the location of speed traps. The object, of course, is to get people to slow down, right, Chief? And then driving to the coast, he would pass through a wide spot in the road called Pollocksville. Young men were playing basketball on a concrete slab with a backboard and rim, but no net. On his next trip through town, he brought them a net. He served or chaired on the Parks Board for more than 50 years, and tonight we celebrate some amazing volunteers who give in the spirit of Fred Fletcher. Volunteers who sacrifice time and resources to serve others through Raleigh Parks recreation and cultural resources and deserve our highest respect. You see, volunteers are leaders. Leaders by virtue of their commitment. Leaders because they see a need and fill it. Leaders who empower others to grow. Leaders who've given themselves with no expectation of return. And right now, in this time where folks of all ages are facing mental health challenges, including loneliness and isolation, you leaders are the vanguard where relationships replace digital screens and human connections are nourished. Think about that. People to people is what makes us great. Thank you for sharing of yourselves and investing in others. We celebrate you.
Bill, thank you so much for being here. The two of us were talking about how long we've each been here, and it's so wonderful for Bill to be here year after year to share those stories about his father, so we appreciate him being here. I want to call up April Love, who's the chairman of the Fletcher Awards Committee, to help recognize some of the special individuals and groups that are here with us tonight. April?
Good evening, everyone. Now I'm doing like, it looks like I turn the pages. Okay. Every person here tonight is special. Whether you're a recipient or a nominee, I am excited that we get to tell the community about the great work that you all have done. There are so many outstanding volunteers, and the Fletcher Awards Committee had the difficult task of selecting this year's winners. Raleigh Parks Recreation and Cultural Resources volunteers have been honored in this fashion since 1996. This year, we are recognizing 14 award winners in 13 different categories. All 2025 nominees have received a certificate, and our sincere thanks for all that you do. At this time, can all of the Fred Fletcher Award nominees and winners stand so we can celebrate you all with a round of applause? Thank you to each and every one of you for your service. Now I would like to thank the Fletcher Committee, which has helped us plan for this year's award program. Members, would you please stand? Ian Burnett, Mr. Gregory Etheridge, Mr. Jeff Havner, Mr. Ian Parks, who's not here but also was very helpful, and of course, Mary Owens. Where's Mary? These individuals, along with many others, have pulled together this wonderful program for you all this evening. At this time, I would like to invite our Parks Board Chair, Chris Pereira, to come to the table and assist me in presenting the awards.
And it's time for the awards. So a little bit of housekeeping. For those of you who are receiving awards tonight, when your award is being introduced by one of our presenters, please come forward and join us up here on the stage, right here beside the podium, along with the person or persons who have nominated you for your award. Each winner will receive an engraved award, and individual winners will receive a green jacket, which is symbolic of the one that Fred wore whenever he was volunteering in the city of Raleigh. You can wear it proudly when you're volunteering. It's really cool. Our first award this evening is the Harvey Kosovar Award, and this is presented to an outstanding youth basketball coach who follows in the footsteps of Mr. Kosovar. Jason Clements will come forward to produce the award.
All right, as always, it's always a privilege just to be here to acknowledge all of our volunteers. I know I do the outstanding basketball coach, and we also have the athletics coach as well. But just to see all of the work that all of our volunteers put in throughout our city just to make our parks and our programs better, I guess, for our communities is always a great honor. And it's also an honor to always go first so I can sit back and enjoy the rest of the bank without being nervous and scared and all that good stuff. But as I said, I want to thank all of our city leaders, our city management team for allowing our athletics program to present our outstanding youth basketball coach. I also want to thank all of our coaches, as I said before, regardless of the sport, for their contributions to our sport leagues throughout the year. Mrs. Kosovar, whose late husband is what this award is named for, also sends her love in regards to our award recipient this year. The Harvey Kosovar Award is an annual acknowledgement given to one individual basketball coach that exhibits the ability to promote passion, integrity, positive life skill development to his or her players, coaches, and parents throughout the season. This award derived from the legacy left by the late Harvey Kosovar, who became one of our program's most admired coaches. Coach Kosovar will often go above and beyond to assist his players with developing the knowledge and skills they could use both on and off the court. Furthermore, his coaching style exemplified what our staff envisions all of our coaches within our programs to be. This year's 2025 Harvey Kosovar Award recipient is Coach James Carr. Coach Carr, as I know him personally, being his league administrator for our junior boys basketball team, our basketball league, is one of the most passionate and enduring coaches that we have, in a good way, of course. Okay? Coach got his introduction into coaching during his playing days as a teenager at our city league at J.C. Park. It was there that Coach met his mentor, George DeLoach. Coach believes his relationship as a player with Coach DeLoach ignited a passion to guide and influence the next generation of players in the same positive way that Coach DeLoach influenced him. In my personal experiences with Coach, I can tell that his players look up to him and believe in everything that he says. His biggest joy is creating a positive experience and helping his players grow as young men through their involvement with the team. It is an age-old saying that sports can be the ultimate teacher of life. Coach's philosophy is to make the connection that teamwork, dedication, effort, hard work, communication, accountability, and timeliness are the key aspects to having a successful life. Coach's commitment to making every season a positive, fun, and uplifting experience for his team is one of the more unique aspects of his coaching philosophy. Coach's step-by-step approach to building team unity and team success can be summed up in his belief to do the simple things better and focus on the major things later. Through his coaching, Coach Carr has undoubtedly left a major impact on his players, and I'm sure that this impact will lead to the next generation of aspiring youth basketball coaches. Therefore, it is my utmost respect and gratitude to present Coach James Carr McLam the 2025 Harvey Kosovar Award for Outstanding Basketball Coach.
Our next award this evening is Outstanding Athletic Volunteer. This is presented to an individual or group who demonstrates a high degree of personal commitment needed to organize, teach, instill good sportsmanship, and enhance our athletic program. This award will be presented by Doug Johnson.
Good evening. Excuse me. It's really hard to put into words the impact of volunteer coach John Price. When he and I talked, He didn't sound like any coach that I'd ever interviewed as a stringer for high school and local sports. He didn't talk about wins or losses. He didn't have any game highlights, no player stats. He talked about kids, kids and their teammates, kids and their parents, kids and their families, kids and even umpires and referees. Of course, John knows the game. He knows hitting, fielding, base running, and in tag football, all the curious idiosyncrasies of that deviant form of the real roughhouse, but still an important part of kids' experience. What really stands out is that he's coaching young people not about the game, but about the game of growing up. He's a mentor, he's a motivator, and above all, he's a guide. John teaches kids not just how to play, but how to support each other, how to grow, and how to take pride in their own efforts, win or lose. His practices help kids find themselves, their games challenge their confidence, build their character, and bring out their best. Congratulations and thank you, John Price, a truly outstanding volunteer who reminds his team and the rest of us that the best thing you can be is your best self.
The next award is Outstanding Financial Contributor. It's presented to an organization or individual that's made a significant monetary or in-kind donation to the department. This award will be presented by April Love.
Good evening again, everyone. I have the pleasure of introducing Mr. Terry Henderson. Mr. Terry Henderson is new to Raleigh, but he is interested in old stories. Mr. Henderson is a historian who lends his talents, his time, and his money to the City of Raleigh Museum. The money generously donated has been used to fund professional development to support the preservation of history. This historian feels like history is more interesting and memorable when it is shared through storytelling. He is an author of a soon-to-be-released book, Tales of Old Raleigh, long-forgotten stories of people, places, and events that made Raleigh a capital city. So for those of you who don't know, there's this little argument between Raleigh and Charlotte. So if we read his book, we'll understand where that all came from. And we all see who the victor was. All right. It is my honor to present the 2025 Outstanding Financial Contributor Award to author and historian, Mr. Terry Henderson.
The next award is to be presented to the Outstanding Greenway Volunteer. This award is presented to a group or individual that has consistently demonstrated devotion to the care and enhancement of our capital area greenway system. This award will be presented by Jeff Hevner.
Good evening. I'm going to try and do this without my glasses. Seth Klopp The Dix Park Horticulture and Ground Superintendent nominated Red Hat as the outstanding Greenway volunteer this year. He says that Red Hat is one of Raleigh's strongest volunteer partnerships, beginning with the day mulching in Dix Park and is now expanded into the Adopt a Trail program, quarterly volunteer events in local parks, and several other opportunities. In his words, Red Hat and their volunteers are the gold standard for a corporate and public partnership. Red Hat's Climate Change Community of Practice, which is their employee group focused on the environment, reached out to Dix Conservancy and Nick Neptune in 2022 to see how they may support the park's development as well as volunteer together. This connection led to not only volunteering at Dix Park, but other parks in our system. Red Hat has participated in everything from the Adopt a Trail, Sunflower Ambassadors, placing mulch in Nash Square, and volunteering at Poole Park and in the City of Raleigh Greenhouse. With all of that, their primary focus has been on the Adopt a Trail program, where they have adopted a 1-mile section of Rocky Branch Trail Greenway that run through Dix Park and along Western Boulevard. While doing a service to our community, these Red Hatters have used their volunteering to learn more about our city parks, deepen their knowledge of the tree canopy and creek studies, and foster relationships among their team. They've had 15 volunteer events incorporating 201 Red Hatters in the last 3 years. Please help me in congratulating Christine Economo and Vince Canoza and the whole team at Red Hat for their service as the winners of this year's Fletcher Award for Outstanding Greenway Volunteer.
The next award is Outstanding Adopt a Park Volunteer, and it's presented to an individual or organization that has consistently gone above and beyond the call of duty for a specific park as a leader in the city's Adopt a Park program. This award will be presented by Kate Dixon.
I am so honored to be the one to present the 2025 award for Outstanding Adopt a Park Volunteer to Dave Gregory. I volunteer in a different park, but in the same park district as Dave, and I had heard park staff talk about the great Fletcher Friday volunteer group. When I saw that Dave had won the award based on his work with that group, I jumped at the chance to be the one to present this award. The Fletcher Friday group meets almost every Friday, rain or shine, hot or cold, to plant and weed the gorgeous flower beds at Fletcher Park. These are one of the features that make that park so special, and there's always a lot of work to keep them beautiful. Dave has been volunteering for more than 2 years now, and he's not only reliable and hardworking, but Brian Best, the park staff member who nominated him, says that his outgoing personality helps make the work fun and holds the whole group together and makes the work so meaningful for everyone. And that he even helps them recruit more volunteers because he greets every passerby very warmly. Dave started work with the Fletcher Friday group and also with the food bank. Actually, he's also a really great volunteer with the food bank, after he moved here from Connecticut to be closer to his brother. He has helped with all the planting and weeding tasks, but he has now made hauling debris in his wheelbarrow his special mission. And one thing to note about how highly staff think about him is that if you look here in the front, there's a wheelbarrow there that's holding a gorgeous plant. That is in Dave's honor, brought by Lauren Freudenberger. And so as someone who cuts invasive plants in a Raleigh park, I know that a volunteer who is willing to haul the debris makes everyone's work lighter, and maybe he should come and volunteer with us. I had a really delightful coffee with Dave about a month ago, and he is admirably modest about his work. But he tells me that he greatly enjoys having found such a meaningful way to help people each week. And he recited this quote by Lewis Carroll that holds particular meaning for him. Lewis Carroll wrote, "One of the deep secrets of life is that all that is really worth doing is what we do for others. And Dave, you are doing so much for others with your work for Raleigh Parks. Thank you so much for your service."
The Outstanding Adult Program Volunteer is presented to a group or individual that demonstrates a high commitment and efforts to the enhancement of the adult program. This award will be presented by Chris Pereira.
I know I'm getting old because I used to be able to read this off my phone, and now I need pretty large font. So when I say line dancing, chances are that you think of the last wedding that you went to, the electric slide, the Macarena, or that old classic, the chicken dance. Oh, and all the new ones, because every year it seems like that there's a new line dance that everybody's doing at weddings. They have new moves, they have fancy steps, but the basics are all the same. You line up, that's why it's called a line dance. You make sure you have enough room, then you start moving. But unless you're a great dancer, not me, you also do one more thing. You look for the leader. Because most of us are wondering, do I step here? Do I pivot backwards? Can I get through this dance without crashing into somebody? And inevitably, there's that one person who knows every step to every song. And if you spin around fast enough, you can make sure you're watching them to get the next cue. Well, we're lucky because the whole city of Raleigh has that one of those leaders, and her name is Jane Fenn. Jane is a dedicated line dancer, real line dancing, not the wedding stuff. She actually has to plan, she has to do research, she has to come up with these steps. She actually learned how to line dance because it just seemed like a fun thing to do. And when she moved to Raleigh, she found out that the city actually has line dancing programs throughout our centers for active adults, so she was able to continue her passion. It wasn't long before folks were looking to Jane to copy her moves. And then she found herself front and center, teaching several classes a week, teaching at the Ann Gordon Center, at 5 Points, teaching beginners classes, intermediate classes, advanced classes. And then she decided that wasn't enough. She noticed that some of the fellow dancers in her intermediate class were getting lost. So she started a improvers class. She noticed that some of the people in the beginners class weren't quite ready to begin. So she started an absolute beginners class. So if this sounds like a lot of classes for something you thought looked simple at weddings, it might be time for you to give real line dancing a chance. It's a great combination of socializing and exercising for our active adults community, and Jane makes sure that everybody who signs up learns all the steps without having to spin around real quick to copy her moves. It's my pleasure to present the Outstanding Adult Program Volunteer Award to Jane Fenn.
Next is the Outstanding Volunteer Group Award. It's presented to a group that contributes time and talents to enhance our city of Raleigh Parks. And I'd like to invite April Love back up again to present this award.
You gotta get this one. Okay. I'm sorry, our winner is not here, so we want to make sure we capture all those moments. So thank you so much. Full circle moments happen to all of us. So tonight I have the distinct pleasure of recognizing a powerful young woman from a fabulous Raleigh family. I remember when she was 2 years old and she had a lot of guts and a lot of know-how then. Dr. Valencia Hicks Harris is the founder of Empower All. When I spoke with her, she told me that watching her mom in education and her dad in recreation inspired her to help young people everywhere. Empower All focuses on providing free STEM education experiences to underserved youth. She said, "I got a lot of no's until Roberts Park said yes." She is a mental health advocate, and she wants people to know that the youth that she works with are bright and they want to learn. It is with my distinct pleasure to present Empower All with the 2025 Outstanding Volunteer Group Award. Her parents are accepting in her honor. And just for fun, while they're coming up there, her mother also taught my son in preschool. So again, another full circle moment. Let's see. All right. So Elizabeth, I've got that script thing you had last year. I'm trying to get it together here. Mary, help me. Thank you. All right. Okay. Our next award will be the Outstanding Project Volunteer Group Award. This award is presented to a group who has shared their time and efforts toward a specific project. And hold on, Chris. Hold on a minute. Yeah, River Cane. Hold on. It's not up here. That's okay. That's okay. I'm a teacher by day, so we're going to make this work. All right. So the next award is to the River Cane Advisory Group. So let me say this. I was told that they like to do homework. So as a teacher, that warms my heart. So I'm good. I can introduce them just fine. So I also heard that they were willing to meet at night. They had a shared vision, and they were very interested in nature education. So it is my pleasure to award the 2025 Outstanding Volunteer Group Award or Special Projects Award to the River Cane Advisory Group.
The Outstanding Project Volunteer Individual Award is presented to an individual who has shared their time and talents toward a specific project. This award will be presented by Colonel Bob Edgerton.
Good evening. A pleasure to be here again.
I am very pleased to announce the Outstanding Project Volunteer Individual recipient is Sarah Reeves. Well done. Sarah has been an unwavering advocate for Dix Park from the very beginning over the years here. As a member of the original Dix Park Master Planning Advisory Committee, she dedicated many hours to working with groups of neighbors, experts on different parts of the park and the community that have ensured the advancement and the success of the park. Most recently, she took on the leadership role of overseeing the landscaping of the stone houses across the street here, where she developed and led the planning plan team. Under her guidance, a variety of plants have been installed that enhance the beauty of the historic houses and the surrounding grounds. I invite you, when you leave here, to go out and walk across and look at the excellent, beautiful landscaping that's there. It enhances the buildings, the historic value of them, and the accessibility that was built into the plan to make it accessible to people who go and look at it. It's an elaborate and very well done design. Also, she truly deserves this honor for the time and energy she's put into it over the years. And thank you very much, Sarah. Please come forward.
The next award is for Outstanding Park Volunteer. It's presented to a group or individual that has consistently demonstrated devotion to the care or enhancement of one of our city parks. This award will be presented by Ian Burnett.
Hello, I'm happy to introduce Alexis Arterberry, this year's Outstanding Park Volunteer. So Alexis moved here in 2015 and immediately fell in love with the city and Raleigh's parks, and I think that's a sentiment that a lot of people here can share. Whether it's Anderson Point Park, where she likes to launch her kayak from, the Marsh Creek Community Center in Marsh Creek Park, which is her home base, or the Rose Garden, which holds a special place in her heart. She has become a super fan of Raleigh's parks, but in addition to that, she's also an outstanding volunteer. So since she moved here, she has volunteered every year and lately at every single event that is held at Marsh Creek Community Park. This consistency not only is meaningful to the park staff, but also to the other volunteers and the community that has come to know her over the 10 years that she has been volunteering there. I am very grateful for all that she's done and hopefully continues to do. And I just want to share that, most importantly, I think the reason that really sets her apart as being outstanding is, one, she didn't even know that her time was being tracked. All these years, she does it because she loves to volunteer, and the value that the community gets out of the work she does is reward enough. And I think, she deserves a thank you, and I hope she continues to volunteer for parks. So please help me welcome Alexis Arterberry up to the stage.
The next award is for the Outstanding Program Volunteer. This is presented to an individual who shares time, talents, and resources towards the enhancement of a specific program. This award will be presented by Steve Breckfield.
Good evening. So some people are born educators. They live to teach, much to the benefit of their students. Corrine Coleman was a math professor at Bergen Community College in New Jersey for nearly 25 years. In 2016, as is often the case in these parts, she followed a daughter to the Triangle. But this teacher admits that full-time retirement was not in the cards. Having taken up line dancing in the mid-90s, she jumped in with both feet in her new home, trading quadratics and Pythagoras for the grapevine and shuffle. As a volunteer instructor, Corrine has played an important role in expanding the parks and recreation line dancing offerings out at Briar Creek, where the program has doubled from an average of 10 to 15 students for a single class to a total of 30 to 40 students in 2 classes, advanced and beginner levels. In addition to serving as an assistant instructor, she fills in as a lead instructor whenever needed, so classes don't need to be canceled. According to her nomination, Corrine always enters the center with a smile, excited to see the staff, her students, and ready for another evening of fun. Clearly, the feeling is mutual. In addition to her volunteering time with Raleigh Parks, you'll find Corrine engaged in line dancing programs throughout the Triangle and beyond. Her weekends have included trips to dance events from Memphis to Miami. And while we definitely haven't seen Corrine on Dancing with the Stars, we can say she had a role in teaching dancing to the star. One of her students in a line dance class hosted by Mystic Distillery in Durham was none other than Ed Sheeran. And the song was his very own hit, Shivers. Ed posted that up on his website, so now we can also say that Corrine is an international sensation. Noting that she's often busier in retirement than she was as a college professor, Corrine happily admits that there is one major difference. This isn't work, this is fun. Congratulations, Corrine, for this recognition as Outstanding Program Volunteer.
Next is the Outstanding Teen Volunteer Award. It's presented to a teen that demonstrates a high degree of commitment to a program, event, or a park. This award will be presented by Carrie Hasbrook.
Good evening. Volunteering is leadership in its purest form. It is recognizing an issue or a need and not just looking around for others to do it, but stepping forward to say, I'll help. Good leaders also listen and observe. This describes Lily Rankin perfectly. When she was a sophomore, Lily got some great advice from her mom to join the Raleigh Youth Council. She didn't just join or join for just 1 year. During the 3-year tenure, Lily served as both the general member and the sergeant-at-arms for the Raleigh Youth Council. Her undeniable passion to serve and leadership abilities translated into 57 hours of meaningful contributions to the council and events. Lily demonstrated a deep commitment to serve her community in ways that reflected an awareness of individual needs and community goodness. Her affection for a family member that is autistic highlighted a desire to support those with special needs and disabilities through specialized Halloween and Valentine dances, Miracle League, and Made for Me. The youth population was also supported through Santa's workshops, Toys from Teens, and reading events. Her awareness of the world around her prompted Lily's participation in park cleanups, invasive species removal, and working at the food bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina, as well as Raleigh Youth Council hosted donation drives. She also added her voice to the Human Relations Commission Teen Town Hall and Dix Park Programming Roundtable Talk. These are the things that leaders do. Lily's love for the community, dedication to service, and the world around her is evident in all she does. This is why it should surprise no one that our next stop is the University of Wisconsin at Madison to study genetics and genomics. It is with great admiration I recognize Lida Rankin as the most outstanding teen volunteer. Come on up, Lily. Now, while she's walking up here, you need to know that she was already at her high school baccalaureate earlier today. Tomorrow is the honors breakfast and then high school graduation, so it's been a busy week.
Our next award is for the Outstanding Cultural Resources Volunteer. This award is presented to an individual or group who has consistently demonstrated devotion towards the enhancement of historic resources, arts, cultural, and/or diversity programs. I'd like to invite Gregory Etheridge to introduce this award.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here once again to honor all these wonderful people and their dedication to Raleigh and all its fine things. So, the Outstanding Cultural Resources Volunteer Award will be given to Ms. Brandy Newworth this evening. And Ms. Brandy actually relocated here from the northern part of the country in the early 2000s. Shortly thereafter, she volunteered with the Park District of Raleigh, Raleigh Parks and District, and since then she's worked tirelessly to help create the foundation that is, well, she helped to create the historical site that is, you know, I'm not a very good note reader, as you can tell, so I'm improvising, so I'm just going to read from my notes here. How about that? She founded Morgan Lund. I digress. So when she relocated here, she volunteered with the Raleigh Parks, and she undertook to help build on the legacy of her grandparents, the Reverend Morgan London Latta, who founded the Latta University back in the early 1800s, well, the late 1800s, where he devoted, its primary purpose was devoted to serve orphan boys and girls, and to help black people and communities achieve economic power through education. At its height, the Latta University consisted of 23 buildings and could accommodate as many as 1,400 students. So they were doing great works. Ms. Newworth dived right in, and perhaps it was the hidden power believed to control that which happens in the future, also known as destiny, that guided her here and placed her in that space. As I spoke with her, she talked about that being one of her primary objectives as she started, but it just later evolved into something else. It just became a real passion and work for her. And so it is with great pleasure and honor that I present to Ms. Newworth the Outstanding Cultural Resources Volunteer Award for 2025. Okay, I'm all warmed up now. Here we go. So our next award goes to, well, is the Award of Excellence, and it's given to the Heart of Carolina chapter of the Tuskegee Airmen. And they are one of 50 chapters throughout the United States that work to honor and keep alive the legacy that is the Tuskegee Airmen, which is not just a legacy of black history, it's a legacy of history. They were very instrumental in helping to maintain the freedom, not of just America, but of the whole world. So the Tuskegee Airmen were not just 992 pilots, but it was a group of over 10,000 individuals that came together to help accomplish the mission, which is why we all stand free today. So they combined that information, that history, and that tenacity with their effort to teach young minds and to help give them an opportunity to know that the sky's the limit as long as you dedicate yourselves. Their organization is designed to teach those individuals and to help expose them to technological, scientific, and aviation opportunities, which we all know, I guess if you've been reading the news lately, yeah, we need some of those, right? So it is with great pleasure that I present this award to the Heart of Carolina chapter of Tuskegee Airmen, to Mr. Warren Gonzalez.
This is always such an inspirational evening. It's amazing to hear all the stories of all the hours, all the hard work in so many different areas of our Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Resources Department. So my thanks again to all of you for all the work that you do. Let's give everybody another round of applause. The next person we'll hear from has an absolutely immense job to be the overseer, the imaginer, the person who makes all of this happen, the director of our Raleigh Parks Recreation and Cultural Resources Department, Stephen Bentley.
Thank you, Elizabeth. First and foremost, how beautiful is this stage, right? Round of applause for our city horticultural team. Raise your hands right here, these folks right up here. Yes. Good evening, everybody. I'm Stephen Bentley, and I have the honor of being the director of the Raleigh Parks Recreation and Cultural Resources Department. On behalf of our department, our hundreds of employees, our over 1,000 part-time employees, and on behalf of the millions of visitors to our park, a warm, heartfelt thank you. I also want to thank bold leadership, vision that supports our system. Thank you to Mayor Cowell, Mayor Pro Tem Stormy Fort, and Meg Patton, Councilmember Meg Patton from District B. So thank you very much for coming tonight. I want to share my gratitude to all of our boards and commissions, our Raleigh Arts Commission and Public Art Design Board, our Historic Resources Board, Historic Cemeteries Board, and of course, the 15 members of the Parks, Recreation, and Greenway Advisory Board. They not only show up, but they show out. They are involved in tons of committees. If there is anything that they see in the community, they drop me a line. So they are great ambassadors for all of you. So thank you to the Park Board and for putting on this event tonight. As others have shared, to volunteer is to give of your time, your care, your mentorship, and your passion, whether it be a coach or supporting environmental initiatives like cleaning up our creeks and our lakes, or participating in some of the park improvement projects. You're serving your community, and you're continuing to make our system one of the best in the United States. And it is one of the best in the United States because it's grounded in people and community. In December of last year, the Raleigh City Council adopted a new vision for the Raleigh Parks Department. That plan outlines the future work and services we provide. In simple form, it focuses on health. And when you say, Stephen, what do you mean by health? I'm going to categorize in 3 different areas. Individual health, your physical and mental health. We can all agree obesity and stress and mental health are challenging in the United States. Second is our community health or social cohesion, social infrastructure. Like, what are you talking about? It's meeting your neighbors, right? And learning. And then finally, it is the health of our environment. It is focusing on the rapid change of Raleigh and addressing those issues related to climate change. I share this because I think volunteerism supports all these areas. When you volunteer, you get out, you move, you do mulch, so you're physically active. When you're volunteering, you're meeting with your neighbors, or we hear coworkers working together. And when you're volunteering, it supports the environment, like removing invasive species, planting trees, and more. So my hope as the director is that we continue the community culture of volunteerism, of giving. It truly is what makes Raleigh and Raleigh Park System special. We have a continuing and growing movement in Raleigh, like the newly formed Friends of Moore Square, Friends of Chavis Park, Friends of Raleigh Greenway, better known as FROG, the City of Oaks Foundation. You heard about Empower for All tonight, the Tuskegee Airmen, longtime supporters. So remember, we have Kiwanis Park, we have Lions Park, the Sertomans, the Dix Park Conservancy, who's been generously supporting this facility in the past, and continuing big advocates like the Men of Southeast Raleigh. The list goes on and on. The last group I want to thank as director is the staff of the Raleigh Parks Recreation and Cultural Resources Department. We work when you play. So that's morning, noons, afternoons, nights, weekends, holidays. And when the call of duty comes in storms, Raleigh Parks is there to help. Specifically, I want to thank the staff from our volunteer services group. So please stand up, Mary, Rachel, Olinda, and Tracy, and provide a round of applause. I'll end with a quote that's become a tradition to share at the conclusion of this program, and it's from Winston Churchill. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. Thank you very much, and go Canes.
Thanks so much, Stephen. I want to congratulate everyone one more time. You make our city great. All the beautiful parks, all the recreational programs, and the cultural resources that enhance and enrich our lives so much are so much thanks to all of you. Keep doing what you're doing. I want to let you know this ceremony is recorded by RTN, and it will be available on YouTube. This means so much to me personally and my family. We're huge parks people. It has a big impact on my life and the lives of everyone here in Raleigh, everyone who comes to visit Raleigh, and it's just a very important thing. So once again, my thanks to you, and the City of Raleigh thanks you. Thank you so much for being here today.